Let me look at Comcast here. Comcast is really lighting up the media shares. $65 billion bid for Fox business parent, 21st century company Fox's entertainment assets. As we told you, the regional sports networks, its Hulu percentage, Fox A, new highs, Comcast, Disney, really jumping right now. So let's just give you the rundown here as we're waiting on Sarah Sanders. The blockbuster all-cash $35 a share figure from Comcast is an almost 20% premium on Disney's all-stock bid worth $52.4 billion. So you're looking at a $10 billion premium here for the Comcast offer. The dueling offers setting up what is an all-out bidding war. The consolidation floodgates flying open. You got to give credit to AT&T and Time Warner, who fought and won their battle against the government to merge. This will be a deal valued at $85 billion. Department of Justice losing this battle, saying that it would be bad for consumers. The judge did not see that at all. That win spurring Comcast to jump out. You remember yesterday, I wasn't here, but boy, was Charlie here. Breaking news right and left, upping the ante for the majority 21st Century Fox assets, despite what seemed to have been a done deal with Disney. But at this time yesterday, as I said, Charlie broke the news. So let's go right to Charlie right now, because since that minute, you have been, I know you never slept last night because you've been working it from the FBN newsroom. Give us the latest developments on this media merger frenzy, Charlie.
Well,
Who's got sort of the next move?
Here's the next move, in my view. The next move is either another bidder coming in to bid on the 21st Century Fox asset, which a lot of people are talking about, maybe a tech player. But also the next move is DOJ. Does DOJ appeal the decision that cleared a way for the Comcast bid? That's a decision approving the AT&T-Time Warner merger by Judge Leone. They have until Sunday night to appeal this. And if they appeal this, they appeal it to the D.C. Circuit Court. And that's where this thing gets interesting. Basically drawing a line in the sand, saying, Comcast, you want to buy Fox's assets? We may go after you. We may hold you up in court. AT&T, you want to complete your deal? Well, guess what? Your investors are going to have to deal with the fact that we are going to appeal this thing, and a judge and a three-judge panel, the D.C. Circuit Court, which is filled with Obama-era appointees who are very negative on this deal, they may ultimately overturn Judge Leone's verdict. Therefore, the merger that's put together may ultimately come apart. That's what could happen here.
Didn't Judge Leone warn the Department of Justice to back off and say, enough already? You've already put AT&T and Time Warner through a lot. It's a waste of time and money, 18 months.
That's the whole thing. That's what he did. But they don't work for Judge Leone. They work for, nominally Donald Trump and Malcolm Delaware.
And he does not like this merger.
And they don't like this merger. And they don't like Comcast. And they don't want Comcast to get any bigger. So all I'm saying is this. This can go on until Sunday night, I understand. If you see if you see the DOJ appealing this decision, I'm telling you, it throws a monkey wrench into the bidding war that could go on for our assets and other assets. This is a big thing if this happens.
Indeed. But now let's get to the actual three players. Bob Iger of Disney, Rupert Murdoch of 21st Century Fox, and, of course, News Corp, parent of our company, 21st Century Fox, and Brian Roberts. So who makes the next move? To me, it looks like Bob Iger has to somehow up his deal.
If he wants, you see, as we reported a couple of weeks ago, 21st Century Fox is gonna entertain any higher bid. They almost have to. And people thought they always wanted to go with Disney, which maybe they did culturally, but this is a lot of money and it's cash. And it's like almost $10 billion more in cash than what Disney has put on the table, which is a stock deal. So Mr. Murdoch and the Murdoch family has to do what's the best interest of the shareholders, and that may be taking this deal. But I am telling you, the one fly in the ointment is what killed the Comcast bid before they went hostile. They essentially went hostile with this bid, and that's regulatory concern. And if you can make a case, if DOJ tries to appeal the AT&T case, then you can make a case they're going to go after the Comcast deal.
Then they should go after Disney, too, because both Disney and Comcast own movie companies and sports operations.
They're looking at it differently. They hate the notion. That's the old way of thinking. I'm not saying they're right. And by the way, Judge Leone says they're not right. But their way of thinking is when you put a vertical merger that combines distribution with content, you can squeeze the consumer We don't want Comcast getting any bigger. We're going to do all we can to prevent AT&T, this deal from happening, including tying them up in court. And by the way, that's not a theoretical risk for investors if there's an appeal. You go to the D.C. Circuit. Let me just make this point. The D.C. Circuit Court is a panel, right? It's a panel. It's an appellate panel. It's filled with Obama appointees. And I can tell you, from my sources inside DOJ, they think they have a better chance with them than a Bush-appointed judge like Judge Leone on this issue. These liberal judges, yeah, it's ironic that they're praying for Obama-era judges because they're the type of judges that would turn around and say, listen, you know, what's good, this is bad for the consumer. If there's one thing, Liz, that Donald Trump and Elizabeth Warren agree on, it's that this AT&T deal, the Comcast deal with NBC Universal, they're bad for consumers. And those judges on that panel might agree with that.
Well, let me just throw in this last thing before we go. Now it looks like, to me, Bob Iger has to somehow up his bid. And number two, the board of 21st Century Fox has to listen to Brian Roberts. And Brian Roberts went directly to the board. Wait
until DOJ. If DOJ appeals, I think that there's an out here where you could say, we don't want to get messed up in the Justice Department's regulatory agenda because they hate these deals. You can credibly argue that Justice Department will try to kill a Comcast bid for us. Why get involved? I'm telling you, that's not I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and I will tell you this: the animus in the Justice Department, the Trump Justice Department, for these type of vertical mergers with distribution, content, big players. Is enormous, and they're trying to stop it.
Well, for now, though, AT&T and Time Warner are big winners, and so is CNN and Jeff Zucker. You know, he gets to keep his job.
The final chapter isn't written. Wait until Sunday night. I mean, this could go to Sunday night.
I say you and I work live Sunday night.
I'm going to be in Italy. I'm going to be on a gondola in Venice Sunday. I'm not kidding you.
All right.
I'm out of town.
You'll do a phoner. Charlie, thank you.